All right, people. Yes, I'm back regarding the rape issue, the pending issue there with the pastor and the 15-year-old. Right. So I was saying that that I've been finding that a number of persons have been majoring. Let me use the word minor. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Not minor as in something just peripheral. Minor in the sense that we're not dealing with the perpetrator the way I hear a lot of persons dealing with. And I'm not saying that they're not persons who are dealing with the perpetrator that way. Don't misunderstand. As I said, what I'm finding a lot on the media, that they're talking about the principal blocking the media, the principal blocking the media. And the issue that I'm facing, I'm dealing with, is that we're not dealing with effectively the issue of this perpetrator and the many other perpetrators out there. Let me clarify something to many persons. This man is just a single man in the church. You have wolves in sheep clothing. You have broken people who have somehow got up in the ranks and they have been missed. And then there are leaders, directors, you know, doctors, lawyers holding many positions. And it's a possibility. And don't get me wrong, I'm not excusing this man. I'm just saying to you that if we continue to ignore these things, your very own sons and daughters can become like what this man has become. A perpetrator, a rapist, a molester of children. You follow what I'm saying? Because things were ignored when he was younger and he grew up in the church, or maybe eventually went in the church, and the problem still exists. You know, to this day, this is an old man, could be a grandfather, great-grandfather, father, what have you, somebody's son. And this is a thing that I'm talking about. We are a silent country when it comes to things that are wrong, unlawful. You follow what I'm saying to you? So my problem is, my issue is this thing about is not my business, is not my child, so I will say nothing. Or I'm afraid to lose my job. I'm afraid that they will kill me. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. Fear cripples the mind, cripples everything. And because of that, silence has taken over. And that's what the enemy wants, was to be quiet and not deal with the issue effectively. All right? So nobody talk about church this and church people this, or pastor this and pastor that. He is one in many, and you have perpetrators like these, rapists, sexual molesters, and physical persons who physically abuse people in all spheres, doctors, lawyers, all kind of positions they hold. So nobody feel say think that bad people are everywhere. You're going to find them. So that don't make that to be an excuse that you don't want to go to church, or you don't want to, or you feel that all pastors are bad, or you have a lot of terrible people, or whatever it is in the church. Rubbish. You have broken people everywhere. We have to deal with this at the root. We have to, we need to come out of being silent. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to go on some board or something where we have to deal with things. We talk too much in this country. That is a problem. We ignore things and talk too much. And just because we like to hear back ourselves. Because it sound good. Oh, I was on TV. And my hair was this, or my face was rubbish. Well, that's what I mean about major. So what I'm saying, I'm not in the least saying that the principle is this or that or the other. All I'm saying is this, that I find that we're majoring in things that are somewhat minor. Maybe I'm not using the right word, but try to understand what I'm saying. We need to deal with perpetrators, people. We need to deal with child perpetrators. Let me read. I don't even know if I can find the scripture. Matthew, I need to go and read Matthew 18 verse 6. Because I don't know if you people think that this is something of God. It says basically, if you harm any one of these who believe in me, it's better that you put a millstone around your neck and go and drown in the depths of the sea. You hear how Jesus described it? In the depths of the sea. And somebody said in Ephesians it have something even worse than that. That's how God values children. So nobody say this is nothing of the church. So when they talk about church this and they have nothing to that, he's an individual. Yes, he's supposed to be a representation of the church, but nobody use a kind of known on the head. I'm sure in working condition, if you know it's human beings, name human beings, you have wolves in sheep clothing in all spheres of life, in church, out of church. You follow what I'm saying? So he's just one individual. So the buck not supposed to stop there with the pastor. We're supposed to be investigating when and let me tell you, let me tell you something, you mothers out there, who when your children come to you and say, you know, I know that some of them are liars, don't get me wrong, because they may want to play one against the other, or they didn't get their own way. That's why investigation is important. That's why when you hear something, investigate and say, Lord, I want to make sure that what I'm doing is right, so that we can know the truth. Don't get me wrong, I know that you have those persons out there, those children out there, and it's because of what they see, why they feel need to lie like that. Like to go and say that this person raped, which they did not. What I'm saying to you is, though, in general, it therefore means something is wrong with parenting when you find kids are like that. I am saying that you have those children or young teens who will come and say, Mom, Daddy's molesting me, Uncle is molesting me, the neighbor is molesting me. Because usually it's always somebody that you're close. You hardly ever find a weird stranger rape, molest, sexually pick me. You hardly ever find them because they don't know them and they don't know if they have the disease or sickness. But what I'm saying to you is that many of them come and say, Mommy, this man or that man, blood relation, or close neighbor, or whoever, whether it's a doctor, lawyer, pastor, whosoever, has been molesting me, has raped me. You go and look at the pitney and tell the pitney, say a lie she a tell. Let me tell you, he's a wicked person. You parents who sit and hear your child complain and tell you all of this because it's breaking them down and you're going to tell them that they're wicked and that they're lying. Because why is it that they need to come and just be wicked and lie? In the majority I'm talking about. As I said, you will have exceptions to the rules for those who lie. And there must have been a breakdown why they feel they need to lie. You understand what I'm saying? There must be some breakdown. So it's still a broken cycle. It is still something has got to be wrong. And you're going to look at your child and tell the child says, lie she telling? Let me tell you something, man. Believe you me. God probably know why me couldn't get law enforcement or whatever it is. Because me don't know how me that, trust me. Because nothing on that lakwe, fling way. You understand what I'm saying? You ladies sit and allow it. Many of you sit down and allow it. And then they come talk, when they're ready to come talk, when they hear something like is a pastor. Oh, Lord, and you know, all of the joint forces and talk about this and that. When it happen with other people, lawyer, doctor, Indian chief. Many of you women sit and watch your children go through this heinous, horrible, I don't even know what word to describe it. I don't even know what word to describe. I don't know. I don't even understand how important, how valued, how valuable children are in the sight of God and to many other good parents out there, because you have wonderful parents out there. You understand what I'm saying? You parents sit and allow these things to happen. And then when they sit down and turn in all kind of mad in their life, you wonder why. And you know, well, I know what is happening. You heard the complaints. This past I heard was reported many times years ago. And all of a sudden, all that happened is that he was just transferred. Them, the people that transferred should have been locked up too. And the child's mother should be locked up. This is a joke situation. We take these things as a joke and not realizing what is happening. And then when they become adults and become dysfunctional and a misfit in society, they'll fling them in a prison. So what is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? When you have all of these socially ill-fit persons in the prisons, lock up, and the 1 and 2 out there we can manage, you're going to have an unhealthy society. You may say they're in prison, but it's going to affect. It is going to affect those who are out there. Because eventually some of them have to come out. Because we don't have a strong rehabilitation thing. Some of things are not dealt with in a proper way. Some people need, remember, your psychological, and even for those who are, they think not psychologists. Psychiatrists and all of those things. All of them need to come together and deal with things in the right and proper way and report the thing and deal with it properly. I was watching the news recently and the health ministry there, or a sector of the health ministry, went to a particular police station and him said no even want to comment on how dilapidated and how maybe disgusting the place is. So if they don't close it by the 16th of January, they're going to have to lock it down. That's how we need to be. Stop talking and acting. That's a problem with this blinking country. We just chat, and sometimes we chat on madness and chat nonsense because we love chat. We need to deal with things in the right and proper manner and get rid of these perpetrators and make sure that our picnic, grand picnic, great grand, or wherever they fall, do not become perpetrators like this. Is that going to bring curse on the land? It is something that annoys me. What I'm simply saying, people, major in the important things. Get rid of and deal with effectively these perpetrators. And make sure say you picnic them grow. It's you see, some of our parents, guardians, whoever is there to rear your children, You sit idly by and allow, Lord, it look cutie when you see kids doing certain things that you know are wrong. Lord, they don't know better. Lord, a little pitney, make it go on. I've seen it. Trust me. And you see the end result at the end of the day. Nobody's who are parents. I know it's not a, you don't, parenting don't just come in your mind when you have a child. But my take on it is, go and get help. If you're unsure of what to do, go and get help. I'm not wrong to really pass judgment call, but when you see something that is clear-cut wrong, me go look out on that. Me talk about clear-cut wrong now. They have not to do with judgment. You have the facts, you have everything. Let me tell you something. You see, those of you who watch your children suffer this way, don't raise your children the best way as you can by getting the help, seeking the help, because you may not, if you don't know, you can get help. And you come to, and you talk about, you're worse than the man out there where you run with a wolf or woman. You're worse than them. That's what the Bible says, and me say it, and you can see it in life. When you sit and you ignore your children and don't take, especially you fathers. You understand what I'm talking about? You're worse than the man out there where cheat. You're worse than an unbeliever, as the Bible would say it. You're terrible. You're not good, none at all. You're wicked. Evil. I am so angry because I see a lot of kids growing broken. They're growing up broken. And they, unfortunately, and I'm not speaking this over their lives, but if it is not dealt with, they too are going to become rapists, sexual child molesters, and all other things, murderers, thieves, all of it. Those people you see committing the acts, they were children too. Those people you see committing the acts, they were children too. Their parents must have seen the warning signs. Because you know, say, mother can't see things from a mile off. Me don't care what anybody want to tell me, say. If you're an effective parent, effective parenting not just comes to seek help. Seek help from those who you, either somebody can give you a good recommendation, or you go on Google, whatever you have to do. You know, when you're determined to get something done, you will find it get done. Now I hear people talk about because poverty. I know that poverty is a terrible thing. To me, this is how I like poverty. It's like you have AIDS, cancer, stroke, heart attack, and everything in one. That's how poverty is an awful thing. That's not even a godly thing. So sometimes people feel say, you know, this archaic belief that church people must be poor and pauper. Rubbish. I want to get that from. Go study people in the Bible. Most of them are probably richer than Bill Gates. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's a love of money and what you do with it. And if you worship it. That's where the problem lies. It's not money itself. You need money to trade. I can't walk in a supermarket and tell them, say, give me a bag of groceries. Or in a shoes place and say, more a couple of them shoes without no money. You just say, what like a strike? What I'm simply saying to you is that it doesn't matter if you are poor. Jamaica is rich with resources. Go plant some yam, banana. There are a lot of trees out there. Make them eat tough food with the best neck that them got. Till something come. Go to a place of employment. If you walk around and say, look here. I have 5 children and I need some form of employment. Go walk. If it means you have to do that for your kids, you do whatever it is in a legal and moral sense to help your children. You will find help. You will find help in the right way. You might not be at no grand amount of money or so forth, but you will find help and you will survive. My grandmother was not a rich person. She's 97 years old now. You understand me? I never have to do all of them kind of something there for make it push part today. I'm simply saying to you that I don't want nobody to tell me about because they're poor, them have to go and prostitute their children. Let me tell you something. Just even saying it, it's like the anger level I start from a 2 point coming on my head top right now. Just even saying it, let me tell you something, man. Because we're so, I don't even know if it's the laws of the land or whatever it is, that we're not vigilant with it. We're not vigilant with it. I'm not saying that policemen are not supposed to be on the road dealing with these, I don't know if it's psychopaths who are driving. But again, we major in minor things. And I'm not going to talk about road issues are minor things. I'm talking about things that are core things. Raising your children in the right way is a core thing. It is important. It is important. And that should be paramount to most of you parents. And you mothers who are sitting idly by, watching your child being prostituted, knowing that they are raped and molested and sit idly by, you're wicked. And God is going to judge you. And when they come and they complain, you're going to talk about their lie? One lady said to me that the mother and the aunt, they were raped when they were younger, when the child come and complain because it was disturbing her psychologically and emotionally. Physically too. They're going to say, well, we get through it, so you have to just get through it. And we wonder why we have the problem we have today. We need to deal with things from the root causes. Stop major and the minor things. Deal with the perpetrators the right and proper way, and make sure that your children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews do not become perpetrators themselves. If you deal with it and stop talking, then we will reduce the problems that we face in society. You know, so in Jamaica, people just, aggressive. Every little thing they're ready for just cut your throat. There's not care how small the situation is, and you wonder to yourself, why? Look at what the mother told the child, and look what the aunt told the child. We got through it, so you have to just sit down and bear it out, and so on. What kind of madness, craziness is that? Clearly they need help. But no one sought to help them, and they just grow up in society, and we just accept it. And silent, because someone is a husband involved, your brother involved, your son involved, and you do nothing about it. A lot of these things happen because women sit down and ignore it. You know what I tell you? A lot of these things sit down and women see it, sit down and ignore it. That's why it got out of hand. The pastor is just one person out of the myriads of them all over the place. And we sit and we know. We know it. Because some people probably come and complain to someone and they sit down. All of them say, Lord of mercy, and that's it. Let me tell you, you better get an act together. Because you're coming closer and closer to home. And I can only pray for your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, even your friends and your neighbors. And I'm talking about the children. That somehow the hand of God will protect and guide them and keep them. But you have to do your part, my dear. You have to do your part, parents, and be vigilant with your children. Monitor your children. See who it is that they know. When they go out, if you choose to send them on sleepovers, when they go out, you monitor them. You be a watchdog over them. That is your right and that is your responsibility. When you negate those responsibilities of raising your children in the right and proper way and monitoring them, you are broken yourself. You need help yourself. I'm not trying to be tough. I'm not trying to be cold. It's the reality of life. It is the reality of life. And a lot of people feel that when these adults, they're now adults, when they were raped, when they were that, they get over it. They don't just get over it like that. You need help. You don't get over it like that. I can only implore that this subject of silence will be dealt with the right and proper way. Are we in for another Port Royal situation? That's all I'm simply saying. I can only hope and pray that you people who are parents and guardians of children, you people who, when they come and they report the situation and you hear it and you know of it and you sit idly by and you ignore, because the perpetrators are persons who are related to you, are very close to you, may God deal with you. That's all I can simply say. May God deal with you. Because I